Hey, it's Pumpkinoodle, and I'm in a casual Abakio cosplay right now. I wanted to do a JoJo tag video. I couldn't find an existing one. There was one for like specifically stands, but not just a general one. So I just wrote up my own. So if anybody else wants to join, do it. For the summer, I got very addicted to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I had started it years ago and then kind of forgot about it because I'd watched part one uh, and then just kind of dropped it for a while, and then I picked it back up with part two and then dropped it for a bit. Um, but then my friends were like, just keep watching, it gets better, and I'm like, okay. And then immediately I met Lisa, and I was like, yes, waifu. Uh, and that was in the beginning of the summer, and then I binged all of the parts of JoJo, and I started on the manga. I'm currently on part 7. Um, so everything I say in this video there will be spoilers up to like midway through part 7. So, first question is favorite part. My favorite part is part 3, Stardust Crusaders. I also am really enjoying Steel Ball Run, so when I finish it, it might overtake Stardust Crusaders. But I really love both. And my least favorite part is, no surprise, part 1. Generally, part 1 is everyone's least favorite part. Um, there's still things I enjoy about part 1, but it had a lot of like timing issues, pacing issues. It had really bad pacing issues. My favorite JoJo is Jotaro. I love him so much. He really grew on me because when I first started part 3 and met Jotaro, I did not like him. I was like, look at this asshole disrespecting his mother? What a piece of shit. But then he grew on me, and now I really, really love him. Also, like, I'm going to school for marine biology right now, and he's a marine biologist, so I'm like, yee. And then my least favorite JoJo is Jonathan. Jonathan is really, I don't know, I'm sorry, I find him boring. I love more morally gray characters, and he is just like, I am good, I am the beacon of light, look at me, I can only do good. And I'm just like, that's boring. But like, no offense to anyone who loves Jonathan, that's cool too. Jobro, my favorite. Okay, so I have a few favorite Jobro. Hakuin is my favorite Jobro in part 3, and maybe overall, I don't know. Kakuin, uh, Bruno from part 5 is also another one I love. And I also love Abakio. So those are my 3 favorite Jobros. Least favorite Jobro. That I threw that one in there, but that one's kind of hard. I think all of the Jobros are good. Um, Favorite villain. My favorite villain is Dio. If you've been seeing my posts on like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you should not be surprised. Um, I especially love Dio in part 3. Um, like he's good in part 1, but I don't know. Even though you don't get to see him as much in part 3, the moments where you do are just so good. Um, and then least favorite villain is Kira. He was creepy, didn't really care for him. I know, like, there's so many people who are like, oh, he's so hot and love him so much, and I'm like, no, he's creepy. Yeah. Favorite stand. My favorite stand is Scary Monsters. Uh, if you know me, this should not come as a surprise at all, because I love dinosaurs so freaking much. Like if I was in Like, if I could have a stand, I would want that stand. Dinosaurs are the coolest. I love them. Growing up, I always thought I was going to be a paleontologist. Um, anyways. Oh yeah, Diego Brando is, I guess, my other favorite villain. I don't know if he's much of a villain in that. He's more, I don't know, rival, villain, yeah. But, like, I love Dio, so of course I love Diego. And I, I don't know if I would say I love Diego more, but because I love vampires and dinosaurs. So, like, somehow Rocky was like, let's just give this person two of their favorite things in the world, vampires and dinosaurs. So I'm like, it's very hard to choose between them because that's, like, my favorites. And yeah, sorry, I'm rambling. Least favorite stand. Let me think. Well, I guess my least favorite stand/stand user would be that really, really creepy, I think he was an orangutan, and his stand was just the fucking boat. I hated that so much. So that would be, I guess, my least favorite stand/stand user. Who is your OTP, or, like, who do you ship the most? I ship Bruno and Abacchio so hard. I love them. They are my OTP. It's like, some people love to ship things, some people don't. So, like, we can all just respect each other's ships. And if you don't ship, that's cool too. Saddest part. Gosh, there are so many very sad parts in JoJo. But Kakuin's death, Abakio's death, and Bruno's death hit me the hardest. I cried like a little bitch. Kind of had, after part 3 and after part 5, I had to take, like, a day or two to just, like, recharge, I guess. I just needed time to process all of my feelings for the babies. From the beeps. Contrary, the funniest part, here are some of my favorite funny parts. So, Tequila Joseph makes me laugh every time, and I never use a mouse, but if I did, they make, you know those, like, booby mouse pads where it's, like, squishy on the breast part, and you rest your wrist there for when you're using your mouse. They make a Tequila Joseph one, and it's the best thing ever. If I ever get a mouse, if I ever decide to start using a mouse, I need it. It's beautiful. Maybe I will insert a photo of it. And then the other funny part is, it's funnier. You don't immediately know how funny it is. It takes a while. So in part 3, Dio, so Polnareff, is walking up the stairs, and Dio repeatedly freezes time, picks Polnareff up, walks him down the stairs, places him, runs back up the stairs, and starts the time again. Of course, you don't know that this is happening until you find out Dio's power later, but somebody had written a post about that, and I was just cracking up imagining Dio running up and down the stairs just to fucking troll Polnareff. Like, part 3 Dio is so good. And then my last question I have here is, did you watch it subbed or dubbed? So I watched the first 3 parts on Netflix, and I just watched them dubbed, because it's a long series. Sometimes I need to multitask. Sometimes I'll, like, style a wig while I'm watching anime or something like that. But then after part 3, it was just easiest to watch the rest on Crunchyroll, which only had it subbed, so I just switched to subbed. And, like, I've rewatched some of like part one and some and like bits of the other, and I will switch between subbed and dubbed. It doesn't bother me. Um, oh, also, hold on, before I go, I I just need to talk about Steel Ball Run real quick because it's like eerily similar to my childhood, kind of. So, Steel Ball Run is a horse race, and a lot of it takes place in the West. And fucking Diego Brando, there's can turn into a fucking dinosaur, unlike Scary Monsters, that stand exists. So, if you don't know, I grew up in Colorado, and growing up, many of my friends raced horses and stuff. My neighbors had horses. Sometimes I'd go horseback riding. I wasn't one of those like crazy horse girls, like a lot of my friends, but I still grew up in the West and loved dinosaurs. So when I got to this part, I'm like, you mean there's a character who is in a horseback riding race in the West and can turn into a frickin' dinosaur? Was this part just made for me? It was like, I swear Araki was like, oh, this person needs some beautiful childhood what's the fucking word? Nostalgia. Like, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Let me know if you want me to talk more about JoJo. I'm thinking about doing a review of each of the parts. I'll see you next time. Bye!